Hey guys, welcome back to JK Rants and Reviews. I'm John.
I'm Caleb.
Today we're going to talk about Haunt, 2019 horror movie.
I fell.
And this might broke it. He broke it.
Let's get do your thing, cuz?
No.
You're gonna break the table.
Here we go.
This was such a fun movie. The characters for a movie that was it was apparently it got a short limited release in September, and then it premiered on Shudder and ranked number 1 for most watched streaming premiere of 2019, I guess. For something that was that quote unquote low profile, the acting wasn't awful like you usually get in certain films like this. Like you can backlog some stuff on Amazon Prime that's considered horror, and when you turn it on, you're like, I don't know if I can handle this. Like 20 minutes in, and you're like, I need some Tylenol to make it through this. Or alcohol.
Yeah, it was
whatever.
It was nice because the movie starts off, you get some good character development real fast. You find out that the main character has an abusive boyfriend where she just can't get rid of him, and she's got friends that support her and try to get her to go out and forget about it for a little while. And then since it's on Halloween, they go to a haunted house, and boom, away we go. It's a nice way to start the movie. It's a fast-paced start.
Yeah, and I think that one of my favorite scenes is actually where they show up to the haunted house, and it was the clown, right, who was standing there waiting for them to come in.
Right. The clown with the black outfit. Yep.
Yeah, he just doesn't say a word. Not a single thing, and has them sign a waiver. Like, that is so creepy because I have been to haunted houses, and the person standing outside, yes, they try to scare you, but they still wind up talking to you afterwards. Especially if you have questions about the haunt. If they'll come out, they'll creep you out, and then they're like, oh yeah, so this is what you're looking at. We have to have you sign this just because, we don't want anybody to get hurt, but we also can't afford a lawsuit. If you don't sign them, we can't let you in. Like, that conversation happens. Whereas with this, it's just this awkward sign, stuff's about to go south real quick. And I also want to say, this movie for me was so good because I didn't hear about it. I just happened to log on to Shudder, and it was there. I hadn't seen a trailer. I had seen the poster floating around social media and people saying how much they liked it. So I wasn't terribly spoiled. I fell asleep during my first viewing because it was like 3 a.m, but after watching it again, it's so great.
Yeah,
so great.
They do a good job of they don't give away to the characters that they're actually in real danger until a little bit into the movie.
It takes the witch. Like, as they're going through the haunted house, they meet the witch, and she puts that hot poker. Yeah, she puts that through somebody's face, and everybody's like, oh, this has got to be fake. But no, you're sitting there like, no, that's real.
Right, and they did a good job of, like, she's screaming and it looks real, and then all of a sudden the fog machine hits and the curtains close. So it doesn't go on too long where they know that it's serious, and then they give them they build the tension real nice as they get deeper and deeper and deeper into this haunted house. And then once she gets cut, which I never would have stuck my hand in that.
Okay, so this is the scene that got me the most, actually. Like, when that group, I think that they chose the was it the less scary path or the more scary?
Well, they split up into 2 groups. One took more scary, and the other took less scary or not scary.
And Bailey's group. So Bailey is the one who got cut. Their group, whichever path they took, they walk in this room and they stick their arms in these holes to, like, grab, oh, it's an eyeball. No, it's great. And, those are games that you play when you're a kid with, like, different foods and textures for Halloween. But they put their hands through a wall where you can't see. And I think that this scene in particular where Bailey sticks her arm in because somebody took her ring off, and you just know it's coming. You know it's coming. And when she pulls her arm out, you're half expecting her to be missing like fingers or the hand or something. But no, it's just these slow, gushing cuts. Just, I don't know why that got me so bad.
Well, and then when they really kick open the door and they increase the tension is where the witch comes out again, but this time with her friend that's unconscious, and they just go right into the face and just go, and it was awesome.
So these kills and these violent outbursts were actually so well shot. Fast forwarding a little bit to the character Mitch, when he's outside with, what is that character's name?
Oh, the dude dressed up as Human Centipede for the win?
Yeah, they're outside and he takes the mask off and he starts telling them about their like body modifications, and he takes the hammer into the mouth.
Yeah.
Nope.
Not quite as good as American History X, but pretty
Yeah, nope. Well,
yeah, but he doesn't take the. I don't think he takes the mask off until he kills him. Well, you don't really know because they kind of cut away from that. By the time he says, "Do you want to see my face still?" and then you cut back and he's got his mask off and the hammer's in his mouth.
Yeah, that was just so intense. It was so crazy. Oh god, that scene.
Yeah, I love all their modifications to their base, getting their masks. That was really cool. And then the throwaway line with the one dude was like, yeah, there's somebody here that does tattoos. And, they said I could earn my mask if I do this, and this. Like, really cool. Like, there's not a whole lot of reasons why. There's just a little bit of detail that make it interesting. And the surroundings are believable enough. I think there's a few of them, like, where they have the speakers by the tunnel. I thought that was a little bit overdone. Like, that's a lot of speakers, and like some of the knives in that like torture room, where that was quite a bit. But I mean, if you got time for a month to set up, I guess you could do those things.
Yeah, there were some things that were a little over the top, but for like a movie that I just wasn't expecting to come out and wasn't really ever thinking I was gonna see because I didn't know about it, it was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah,
and definitely. The beginning, the final act is weird because it's like a two-parter for me personally. Like, it starts where that dude comes out and he's like, yeah, I was just going to earn my mask and, we can go to the police, and they usually keep a gun in here, and then he gets shot. I think that's where the third act starts for me. Like, and then it goes all the way to where dude is in her house.
Yep. It gets that kind of vibe where it's at the green room. It kind of felt like that, where that they've been beat up, they've been kicked around, they're stuck in a room. Then all of a sudden they get out and start wreaking havoc and getting revenge, and it kind of becomes a little fun towards the end.
It really does, especially our main character Harper. She you actually get growth with her. It may not be like the most well scripted or written, but it's character growth that actually makes you want this character to keep going. I feel like a lot of horror movies, you have an issue with little character development, so you don't really care. You're like, if they die, they die. If they don't, they don't. But with her, you're like, keep going, you got this, keep going, you got this. And especially when she makes it to the room that says exit.
Yeah.
And then like an escape room, and she's trying to figure out all the clues, and then that shotgun in the door. Boy.
Yeah. The thing right before that, though, man, she steps on a nail.
Yeah.
That was
right away for that.
That was even more gnarly than like Home Alone when Marge steps on it. But
and then that
God,
for her hands.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was gnarly, and like the special effects were on point for being kind of not a low budget, but not a big. I mean, all in all, I would say that this movie is a higher quality than Hellfest. But
I would
it's
say
not as fun, but it's more serious.
I wouldn't say a higher quality per se, because Hellfest kind of got it. It had a huge budget behind it, and it was a different kind of film. So Hellfest is a movie you can market to teenagers, and you can market to the masses to go see on Halloween night. Whereas Haunt is a film that once you realize how much gore is in it, not everybody's going to want to see it.
It's true.
And
It's true.
even the haunt actors or killers or however you want to classify them, their body modifications are so extreme that may cause some serious discomfort to the average film viewer.
Right. But I mean, like, I meant like quality, like, think like 1978's Halloween compared to H2O. H2O had a bigger budget, bigger names, more money behind it. You get the quality of a more simplicity or, you know, simplified story kind of shines through, I guess. Maybe is what I was kind of.
Which, by the way, I still love Hellfest. I don't care. I know people hate it. I don't care. I loved it.
No, I had a blast with it. I would love to see a sequel. I would absolutely love to see a sequel. But anyway, what would you rate?
So Haunt came out of nowhere. This is definitely not one of those like end all be all films, but the cast did spectacular. I cringed, and I had moments of intense like panic for the characters. Not something that I usually have. I'm not usually drawn in so far that I'm like go go go. So for that and for all the effort, and it's got to fall somewhere, I'm going to give it a 7.5. That seems really high for a film like this, but with a bigger budget, maybe one day a sequel, seeing a little bit more, it could have potential to rise higher or fall lower. I don't know if there is a sequel, and honestly, I could see this film not getting one. It's good as a standalone, but I would welcome a sequel.
Yeah, I would say I'll probably give it a 7. I think it's a solid movie. I enjoyed it. I definitely wouldn't mind watching it again someday. The gore was great. Like, it wasn't easy. It wasn't overdone. It fit the mood and the story. I cared about the characters. I think, unfortunately, this is a movie where it isn't like a standout great movie, and it's not really quirky enough to where it's going to find a cult following. I mean, time will tell. But I really do like the movie, and I hope it finds its footing, to where it can keep getting people's attention. People, go to see it without having to, have to wait 20 years before people realize how good of a movie it is.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I wanted to toss in real quick. One of the things that I really did enjoy about the movie, I don't know if you've watched a lot of them, but the anthology films that have come out over the past 10 years, like Tales of Halloween, Trick or Treat, all these different horror anthologies, ABCs of Death, there's a bunch of them. There's like a certain cinematography and like vibe to them. And this movie had that, but it also like captured that typical slasher feel. Like it's hard to explain. I felt like I was watching both Tales of Halloween and like a Halloween knockoff. It was pleasant. It was a breath of fresh air, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Guys, comment down below. Let us know what you think of the movie, if you've seen it. If you guys haven't seen it, I will post a spoiler, so hopefully we didn't spoil everything unless you want spoilers, which is great. But yeah, definitely let us know what you think, what you would rate it. Do you like Hellfest more than this movie? I don't want to compare them too much, but they are similar. And I just kind of wanted to see what people think. But anyway, make sure and like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can get some more. Until next time, JK out.
So, final question. Tony Todd shows up in Hellfest as a nice little nod to the horror genre. Who would you have pop up in the follow-up to Haunt?
Like Doug Bradley, or who do you think?
Tobin Bell.
Yeah, there you go. Solid choice.
Yeah.